technologies, our cultural records technology. Leading our session this morning is going to be Damian Kirkwood. Damian runs our Laramie office here in SHPO. So in SHPO, we have our office in Cheyenne that has majority of our review staff and National Register staff. And then we also have an office over here in Laramie that houses our cultural records office. So it houses all of our paper records, houses all of our electronic records in our GIS system and our online database. So it's keeping all that information and making sure that we can go back to old reports, go back to old surveys, and access all that information for future use. So Damian runs at our office here for us, has a good background in archaeological survey, was in the private sector doing archaeological survey work before he came to us, and has also a good background in grounding in GIS technologies. And we're going to be talking about a survey app that Damian and his office have been developing that will allow people to go out and record buildings and get that information to us. We can incorporate that into our database. So I will let Damian come on up and talk about what they're doing.
Roman water if you need.
Yeah, like a TED Talk.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, hopefully everybody got some breakfast. And good morning. And thank you for the introduction, Brian. Yeah, I'm Damian Kirkwood. I'm the manager for the Cultural Records Office with the SHPO. We are here in Laramie in the anthropology department. So if you ever want a tour or something, feel free to swing by our office, or if you want to pick up some more posters, that's where we have them all. There's also a cool museum if you haven't checked it out before. And we were just talking this morning, there's a new prison display in there that's really unique. If anybody remembers George Prison, there's a really cool display dedicated to him and his career. So this morning, I'm just going to kind of give a brief, informal kind of introduction into what this app is, how we're expecting to use it, what's the utility, maybe it's something that you might want to incorporate when you're doing some of your projects. And then we'll do some kind of hands-on. It looks like the sun's coming out, so maybe we'll actually get some decent weather to kind of do some recording. And we're going to head over to the church and break into 3 different groups and kind of have Gwendolyn and then Rachel over there and myself kind of lead a group each and kind of show you how you would do data collection with the app. So we'll get to that after I kind of introduce the survey 1, 2, 3. So survey 1, 2, 3 is developed by Esri, kind of and data collection in the field. Any industry that has a field component or goes out and collects data, especially if it has a spatial component to it, usually will use an Esri product. So currently it's like ArcGIS Pro, Field Maps, and Survey 1, 2, 3. So with Survey 1, 2, 3, it's a customizable form creator that you can customize yourself to your needs. So any industry can use it. And we've kind of used it to try to emulate our old cultural property forms, so our site forms. If any of you are used to seeing the old paper forms where we're used to document sites, we've kind of transcribed that into the app. And we've kind of modeled the Survey 1, 2, 3 form based on what's required in our WildTrack database. So at the end of a project, we do require that those data get sent to our office, and we kind of want it to be standardized. So that was kind of the intention with trying to make this form available. So it's also meant to kind of help CLG folks who might not have an archaeologist on staff or someone who meets the qualifications to get access to our WildTrack database. So it's a way to kind of allow you to go out and do some data collection, be able to drop points where you're taking photos, drop points where you're recording information. So if we're over there recording that church, when you're taking a photo, it's going to geotag it. So it's going to drop a point where that photo is being taken. And so you could do that on all the elevations. And then you send that data to us and we can make a shapefile for you for that site boundary. With that, we also have kind of in the form a more standardized way for you to kind of collect the features and attributes that are required by the state, so that you know what kind of roofing material that you can choose from, what kind of windows and things like that are in our database and what we accept. And that doesn't mean you can't, add some additional things that aren't in our database, just do that in your notes or in a narrative or something. But it's just a way to kind of standardize that and also make it available for anybody who can, needs to do a project. If you can't access WildTrack or you can't get someone in your CLG who has the credentials, all you need is a cell phone or a tablet that has cellular data, and you can go and you can collect the information. And you can do that both when you have service, or you can do it offline as well. So you can do the data collection offline, and then once you get to cell service or Wi-Fi, you would take that information and submit it to my office, and we'll house it in our cloud storage. And then myself or our GIS specialist, Connor Johnen, will take that data and output it and return it to you so that you can beef it up if you need to or see it. So the app is kind of just a way to collect the information, send it to us, and keep us in the loop. And then we can send the data back to you so you can put it into a report or write it up or something like that. But the utility for us is when you're doing something like a register nomination, a lot of times that data is going to live in that form at the end of the day. So after the project's done, all this great work has been done, a lot of research has been done, and they've compiled it into this register form, and that's kind of where it lives. So we often don't get the information into our database, so it doesn't really help future archaeologists or historians. It usually ends up being kind of blank, and they have to just kind of pull the form. So this way, we're kind of encouraging like an earlier step in the process, kind of giving us some basic information about the sites and stuff that you're recording, so that, if someone does a file search, they know that there's a historic property and they have some general information about it. So yeah, it'll just be a way to work with my office and kind of help you guys, So if you do have a project coming up and you are interested in kind of pursuing this, you just have to contact me or Connor Johnen, and we'll give you a user account to rent, and then you can use it to log in, collect the data, and to submit it. And then, we'll probably put some kind of arbitrary time limit on it, like 6 months after the project, the password's going to change. But it's just a way for us to kind of take advantage of all these Esri licenses that we have, and also kind of just offer a tool so that anyone can collect data if they're kind of interested in historic preservation and things like that. So does anybody have any trouble downloading the app or logging in this morning? Or any questions about it, I guess, or before we go out there and kind of do a field collection?
Good try.
It's called Survey 123.
What's the login information again?
The login is YCRO, all caps WYCRO1. Yeah, there are handouts on the tables too. And then the password is YCRO, all caps, lowercase is, $1. I guess we could take a few minutes for everybody to finish up eating breakfast, and then convene in like 5 minutes outside and break into 3 groups, and we'll do some data collection.